I think my family are entitled. As the title says, I am 23 and I am the oldest out of my parents' kids. I live with my brother who is 20, with my sister who is 16, and the youngest brother who is 10. I have been essentially caregiver to these kids for as long as I remember. And when I cannot be a caregiver, they say that I'm selfish. I have a rocky relationship with my parents. I don't talk to my stepdad, and I resent my mother, since apparently it's my job to work around my own work schedule to keep an eye on the youngest when he is not in school, because the other siblings are too busy. I want to move on with my life and saving to leave, but it's taking longer than expected because stuff keeps coming up, such as I needed to get my wisdom teeth removed, or I'm sick, etc., etc. My main problem is my 20-year-old brother. He never changed. As a kid, he would be, I want, and of course he would be given whatever he wants. Now he's an adult and it's still the same. He cannot keep money and expects me to cough it up to him. Or he's never home, so I'm left to look after his 2 cats. Might I add, he moved out for 6 months and came back with 2 cats, but doesn't look after them, leaves his keys at home every night and expects I'll wake up and let him in at 2 a.m. every morning while I have to work at 7 a.m. 6 days a week, most of the time. For example, it bothers me that even my parents do not say anything about his behavior. He expects us to rub around after him all the time, top up his card for public transport, feed and look after his cats. He doesn't clean up after himself, and of course we gotta walk on eggshells around him, because one wrong word or sentence and he will start a massive argument. Last time a really big one happened with my stepdad, who is his dad, and they got into a physical fight, and that's the last time they have talked. He does just waltz into my job asking for me and then demands free food of me from there, which I don't exactly agree with. And then there is my mother. My mother hasn't lifted a finger around the house in I don't know how long. I do the cleaning and cooking for everyone as soon as I get home from work at like 5 p.m. Nobody lifts a finger despite my protests. My parents do work, but only to really contribute towards their own wants, like luxuries that they do not exactly need. I don't know, I just feel they're entitled and take advantage of me. Well, they are entitled and they are taking advantage from you. I don't feel that anything can be changed here, so for me, the best strategy would be just save up enough money and move away. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, because I really want to get to 200 subscribers as soon as possible. I know it says these deposits are non-refundable. I have been tattooing professionally for close to 2 years, and this is my first time dealing with this particular situation. While I fully understand why individuals are reluctant to have a newer artist working on them, I have also seen experienced artists mess up and or screw people over. I had a young man and his father come into the shop recently. This was my second time speaking with them. The adult-aged son wanted a relatively easy piece on his forearm, consisted of only lettering, a little line work, and some generic cloud shading. They did not ask for a specific artist, and they put a deposit down with me for an appointment initially set for today. The young man's mother contacted me yesterday, explained that they had an event coming up and she didn't want tattoo plastic wrap present in the event photos and wished to reschedule. Weird excuse, but not a problem. I attempted to reschedule him twice before speaking with the mother again today. The mother began with, "It says right on the appointment card that these deposits are non-refundable, but I thought I would ask." She then went on to state that individuals online said go in and ask for the owner, so her husband and son were supposed to ask for the owner, but whoever just threw you up there, the owner was not even there either time they came in, and the owner was not mentioned. She kept stating that she was aware I was new and wanted someone more experienced, like the owner, doing her adult-aged son first piece, since it was bigger. Again, it was a simple piece. At one point, she even asked, "Are you still an apprentice or what?" When I informed her that I had been taking my own clients for well over a year now, she only said, "Yeah, see, I'd like someone with more experience to do it. I offered to transfer the deposit over to more experienced artist, the exact one she was asking for. And she stated that she just liked the deposit back. She stated a second time that she was aware that the deposit was non-refundable, but that she just thought she would ask. I told her at this point that the owner retains half of the deposit, so I'd have to discuss the potential return with him. And she asked in a rather rude tone, "Okay, should I expect to hear back from you tonight then? Or should I be contacting him myself?" If I were you, I would do nothing. I would just keep the deposit as it states on the booking card because they are not coming back for the tattoo to any artist. Just spare yourself of this time wasting. Customer has thrown bottle of engine oil at me, and it did not end well. When I was 20 years old, I worked for an auto parts company. I was a cashier ringing customer up on a busy day. I'm usually laid back and very lenient when it comes to returns, due to the customer is always right or some crap. A guy walks in with the battery, places a battery on my counter, and selects 1 quart of engine oil. The man comes back to the counter and tells me that he needs to return this battery for warranty, due to it is not holding a charge. Immediately, I recognize the brand of battery, which is a brand that we do not sell. In fact, our rival company sells it. I had explained this to the customer, but he was not having it. He said he knows he bought it here and was demanding a refund. I tell him again, I'm not going to refund something that wasn't sold at this store. Then I call the rival auto parts store, take down the man's information and see if it was purchased at one of their locations. The store verified that indeed it was purchased at one of their locations and that it was still under warranty. I tell the customer this and still he is not having it. He tells me I need to do my effing job. I reply to him sternly, but still in a professional manner, I am doing my job. I am actually going above and beyond my job. So I could easily say you didn't have a warranty and just tell you another battery. I have no business calling in my rival company for something like this, so I went out of my way to tend to your needs. And you are still telling me I need to do my job? If you can tell me how that makes sense, I will give you a battery. The customer had no answer and began to berate me verbally and cussing me out, saying he's going to come back with a pew and handle business. He also commented on my physique and said that steroids are affecting my brain, and that's the reason why I don't know how to do my job. I was in decent shape as a 20-year-old. Due to not having a social life, I would spend 8 hours at work, go home and study. I also frequented at a gym a lot. I would spend 8 hours at a local MMA gym, just lifting weights, boxing, jiu-jitsu, and a couple other things. I enjoyed every minute of it, and it kept me out of trouble. Going back to the incident, the man then made a comment as to I need to smile more often when talking to customers. At this point, I was already irritated. I responded with, well, how about I just effing tap dance for you? And then started tap dancing in front of him. I was about a foot away from him when this happened. The man proceeded to throw the quart of oil in my face, hitting me in the nose, I immediately reacting with the front kick to his chest. The kick pushed him back a bit, so he began to rush me. I dipped my right shoulder forward and brought my left elbow to his nose. It was like a modified spinning back elbow. I can feel that man's nose crack on my elbow. The customer fell down and began to cry, with blood dripping from his nose. When this happened, magically my line of customers got shorter, and a few had switched to another register lines. I helped the next customer with no issue. Then I thought to myself, I should probably call the cops. I told my store manager about the incident, and he called the cops. My store manager was a friend of mine and trained with me at the gym. He pulled up the video and commented how my foot placement needs work. Police arrived and the man began annoying me for assaulting him. But the customers vouched for me and the footage on the camera matched the customer's statements, so the guy was arrested for aggravated assault. The police officer that stayed behind to get the video evidence kept rewinding in the video and laughing. As the customer was leaving in handcuffs, he kept repeating that he's gonna come back for me. The police officer asked my store manager if he wanted to report the guy for trespassing. The store manager left it up to me and I said, nah, let him come back. A little bit after that, I left that job, I joined the military, served for 10 years, and then became a cop in a small town. My soon-to-be wife was also at the store when the whole thing happened. She later revealed to me that the same guy had tried to get her phone number and then called her an insult for saying no to him, and said if he took her now, the cops wouldn't do anything because she was illegal. What a disgusting man. Oh my god. I'm really happy that he got his karma. Well done, OP. How do I deal with my entitled friend? I have this friend in college I've known for 3 years, and we've always been in the same classes. She does this incredibly frustrating thing where she expects me to remind her of her own responsibilities every time an assignment is due or our shared class is about to start. If I don't remind her, she sends me passive-aggressive messages like, "Thanks for reminding me about the homework, by the way," or "Can you believe it? Class has started and nobody thought to call me." She pulls this with her other friends as well, but they usually apologize and make excuses for not reminding her, which seems to get her off their backs pretty well. And I could do that too for the sake of my own peace of mind, but I refuse to apologize for something that is not my responsibility. I don't want her to think that this is her right, even for a second. I also know that, sure, I might have accidentally set a high standard for her the way I used to call to remind her about assignments and would even send her homework answers at times. But the difference is that I did it willingly. I don't know why it translated into her head that she is now my job. A bit of background about her is that she is spoiled at home. She has an older sister who's about 6 years older and has always done everything for her. But that's not my problem. I don't remember signing up to be her caretaker. We're both adults, and she's about 2 years older than me. So it's not like I have a maturity advantage over her that makes me responsible of her. So how do I tactfully deal with entitled behavior? You can do the exact same thing as she does. When she messages you with, "Oh, nobody reminded me about the assignment," you can be like, "Oh, right, I was not reminded either." So maybe this way she will get the hint. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. You can also watch that awesome video or this awesome playlist. See you next time.